everybody, it is NCSFan001 here, and I decided since I actually had all the ingredients for this recipe, I would go ahead and make it. So today's recipe, the second recipe I'm making, this appears to be the simplest, easiest recipe in the entire book. I really hope it is, because of how badly I screwed up last time. So, I mean, I don't think it came out horribly, but today's recipe is Nuka Cherry, and according to the cookbook, it is a 3-ingredient recipe, and it gives you, let's see what that says, +1 luck for 30 minutes. It is an easy difficulty recipe, takes 12 hours of prep, less than 30 minutes or 30 minutes to cook and prepare, 10 to 15 servings, and pairs well with mystery meat wrapped Nuka lurk. So it says, I saw a special edition cherry flavored bottle of Nuka Cola in Diamond City and wanted to bring some back. After looking everywhere, none of the vending machines I stumbled across had any, so I figured I'd throw together a cherry variant myself. This recipe calls for only 3 ingredients. Well, technically 4, but we'll get to that later. It calls for 1.5 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of pitted cherries that are cut in half. So I already have the cherries cut because that was going to take a few minutes, so I went ahead and did that. We have our sugar, and of course a measuring cup for water. So our first step is to combine the water, sugar, and cherries into a saucepan and place over medium to high heat. So that's going to be much like the last recipe. So we need 1.5 cups of water. So just 1.5 cups of water. Doesn't seem like very much personally, but I will follow the recipe and hopefully do it better than last time. Now we are going to take 1 cup of sugar with my leftover sugar from last time. I went ahead and got another thing of sugar for future recipes, just in case. At least this one only calls for 1 cup of sugar, so not as unhealthy, hopefully. Then again, since it involves something else we'll get to in a little while, because it's suggested that you make the Nuka Cola first, like the actual Nuka Cola recipe first. In fact, you actually have to in order to make an ice cold glass of Nuka Cola cherry. Now this is just to make the syrup, so just want to clarify that. So we take that sugar and we pour this in with that 1.5 cups of water. And then we pour in the cherries, 1 cup of pitted cherries, all halved, and drop that in. I guess that's going to be for flavoring. There we go. I will watch this in a moment. So now we're going to place it over medium to high heat, whisk until the sugar has been dissolved, bring to a boil, reduce the heat to low, and simmer for 20 minutes. So a bit longer than our previous one. So turn on the heat, let these begin to simmer. At least this time I'm not making a double batch, so hopefully, I don't think it shouldn't boil over this time. There's barely anything in here. There's very little chance this could boil over. So I think we're going to be okay this time in that sense. It's actually looking very red, very cherry-ish. And I also, when I was at Kroger, I got stuff I needed at Target because I didn't actually have the cherries, but I went ahead and got them because they were like $3 or so. Maybe they weren't expensive, whatever they were. They weren't too bad. So I got myself some cherries, and I picked up some blue food coloring to hopefully make Nuka Cola Quantum in the future. I don't know if it's going to look exactly the way it needs to, so I may go back and look at Kroger or Target or Walmart and see if I can find the specific color for it, but I do have at least blue, so it'll look kind of accurate. And this is actually mixing up quite nicely. Surprised it's not 2 full cups of water, though. I feel like you need just a little bit more water in this. Seems to be working, though. I also just bought a whisk when I was there, when I got the cherries and stuff. I went ahead and got a whisk and a zester. And the zester is like I thought. It's basically a little cheese grater, but a little different. Alright, so we are going to bring that to boil, and then we are going to let it simmer for 20 minutes. Let's turn up the heat just a bit more to try to speed up the process and hopefully not have it boil over this time. Then I will go ahead and get a pitcher ready as well to put the Nuka cherry mix in. I will follow this recipe exactly, so this one better come out properly. Seeing lots of smoke coming off though, and that's from inside, so that means we have brought it to a boil. I believe the sugar is all dissolved now. Or almost a boil, not quite a boil, but it looks like all the sugar has dissolved. Yeah, that looks good. All the sugar should be gone now. So that means we can bring it back down to low, and we can simmer on low for 20 minutes. Oh, this one's already hot. Excellent. So now I can move this over so as not to horribly make it smell horrible. And then I can clean that off. So I will see you guys back here in about 20 minutes for the finished product. Alright, after 20 minutes of simmering on low, our syrup is ready. It is now in the pot. It's looking good. It smells fine. And now we are simply going to pour it into a different container. It's a good thing I have two of these pitchers, or else I'd be in a little bit of trouble because I still have some of the syrup left. Okay, that might be about all of it. Yeah, that's pretty much all of it. Okay, I'll have to clean this out later. And with that, our little bit of syrup that we got is done. So it didn't make a ton, which is fine. I don't know how much I'm going to be using this, and it's smoking out the top. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, if it focuses properly. So now we're supposed to leave this mostly uncovered and leave it in the fridge for at least 12 hours. And then once that's done, we can produce our cherry Nuka Cola. Okay guys, it has been now almost a week since I actually fully assembled this, since I actually got the syrup done. So the last step of the Nuka cherry is 4 tablespoons of the regular Nuka Cola mix and 5 of Nuka cherry mix, which I gotta say, it looks pretty good. It looks kind of like, cherry cough syrup, or just cough syrup, which tastes strangely good at times. And add that to a cup of seltzer water. I already like seltzer water, so that's not a problem. I'm gonna put a little more ice in here than I needed. Let's just stir this up. It doesn't look very red like Nuka cherry, and that's fine if it spills over. I gotta clean this countertop anyway. I cooked earlier. I have yet to clean it up. Okay, now that that's done, let's give the Nuka cherry a try. It looks exactly like the regular Nuka Cola because that browning sauce really takes over. It's not bad, actually. It's not too bad. I taste the regular Nuka Cola way more than the cherry. I can hardly even taste the cherry flavor. I'm not the biggest fan in the world of cherry Coke and stuff, but I can really barely even taste it. I don't know if it's because the regular Nuka Cola I made is a lot stronger, which is certainly a possibility since I didn't use quite the right ingredients. But the actual, it tastes fine. I think this tastes better than the regular Nuka Cola because it somewhat dilutes the Nuka Cola taste. Granted, that was probably only really bad because of me screwing it up, not really anything else. I want to try just a little bit of this. I'm trying a little bit on my finger. Yeah, it tastes like just sort of cherry flavor, like a cherry flavored candy, the syrup does. Okay, well, I think this one was probably I like this one better personally than the first one, than the regular Nuka Cola, but I think that's just because I made the cherry correctly, because I followed the recipe exactly. So I would say that one was pretty solid compared to the regular Nuka Cola, but I probably want to try to remake the regular Nuka Cola and with it possibly this Nuka cherry and just see what happens, see how that tastes in comparison. So hope you guys enjoyed and see you for the next one.